Hey everybody, and on this episode we're going to the Snake Meadow Club out in Connecticut. Where is it at? It's about a little more than a 2-hour and 20-minute drive for me. So to find out exactly where it's at, let's check out the location clip. Alright, now that we know where it's at, let's talk about the grounds. I have to say they got some really nice grounds here. I like clubs that have lakes. Lakes just add to that whole atmosphere, and these guys had a beautiful one. So let's take a quick look at the grounds here, including their practice range.
Where'd you leave it? You can drive down there, drive down the road.
All right, but you got a piece of paper and I'll write it down. I don't want to keep it waiting.
Alright, this event, is held the same weekend as the regional IBO. So their attendance was low. I counted around 35-40 people, and they said that's normally low. They're normally in the hundreds. So the cost of this was just $10, which is a fantastic deal. $10. Can't beat that, can you? Now the bows that we used, I shot this time with a gentleman. His name's Michael Baton. And he contacted me through Facebook. He's seen some of my stuff, and he goes, you know what, you seem like a nice guy, thought I'd shoot with you. So I drove out and met him, and he's a pretty darn good shot. He was getting ready for an IBO competition, and he was shooting at the different stake than what you normally do because he's shooting a certain class, and that was really cool. Now Michael, you'll see in the video, he was shooting a Win-Win Grizzly Stick Carbon Nano. This baby was 60 pounds. And the amazing part was the arrows he was using had a 300 grain head on it. That's just crazy. 300 grain head. If the guy can shoot with it, he's got his system down. Me, I went left-handed again, and I'm using my 47-pound Ben Pearson Colt. Now, if you've been watching the videos, you know all about it. But if it's your first time and you want to find out more information about my bow, I'll show you how I bought it and restored it. Just click this link right here and I'll take you to a separate window where you can find out about it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about this course. It's not a bad course, and I'm going to put the course up while I talk, just so you don't have to see my little old mug the whole time. This course was 3.77 miles. The highest point was 444 feet, and the lowest point was 327 feet. For the types of terrain, there is woodland, open hills, and a stream area. And that's that later half part of the course that runs along a stream, and it was awesome. The type of course it was a combination. It was in, out, and walk through targets. I'd have to say, this course was easy to navigate. Alright, now that we've seen the course, let's show you some other stuff. Right here, as you can see, that is the trail and course markers. They were easy to follow. And then you got the station markers. And the one thing I really liked they did was these shooting stakes. You couldn't miss them. That is a neat little shooting stake they used. Alright, let's talk about our targets. This course was 30 targets at 30 stations. There is no doubles and there's no bonus targets. Pretty simple, and that's how I like things in life. For the targets, for small game, there's 8 of them. There's 2 beavers, 2 turkeys, 2 foxes, a javelina, and a groundhog. For medium game, they had 14 targets. There's 8 various types of deers, 2 wolves, a bear, a boar, and an antelope or a pronghorn deer, whatever you like to call it. For large game, they had 6 of them. There's 4 bears, a caribou, and a ram. And for the exotic, there was just 1, and that was a gator, and he was well placed. I have to say the variety of targets was good. I never got bored. It was nicely spread out, so it wasn't deer, 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 this, deer, deer, this. No, it was a good mixture. Now there's shots, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I mentioned it earlier. The gentleman I was shooting with was prepping for an IBO shoot. and he shot from the white stake. And the white stake, it's not supposed to be any targets out past 20 or 25 yards. And you know, I'm comfortable in the 20s, but my short distance game needs work. So I decided I'd shoot with him. Now, if I was shooting the proper class for me, I'd actually shoot from the orange stake. And that's roughly 10 yards more than the white stake. So if you're a traditional archer, you'd shoot from the orange stake. And these ranges I'm going to give you, you just tack on roughly 10 yards, and that's what it would be. So for this one, we had 5 targets between 10 and 12 yards away. We had 9 targets that were 13 to 14 yards away. We had 5 targets between the 15 and 16 yard range. We had 7 targets in the 17 to 18 yard range. There's 1 target in the 19 to 20 yard range, 2 targets in the 21 to 22, and 1 target in the 23 to 25. You know, and it's just perfect because those are the ranges that sub 20, I just have a problem shooting at. And this was a great course for me to practice on it. You know, and as I was doing the course, you always look at how do they incorporate the targets into the terrain. You know, does it look out of place? You know, like, really, would you like find this here? And I had to say they did a nice job. It was an average job. They put everything in, nothing was out of place. And in a couple of them, they did a fantastic job. The beaver down by the stream is exactly where you'd find a beaver. And the gator was a great shot. You know, I had a good time here, and Michael's a pretty darn good shot, and you'll see throughout the video, he's giving me hints and all that. And Michael shoots different, you know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot with somebody that shoots totally different. I am, as you've been watching, if you watch my videos, I transferred from split finger instinctive to 3 under, and I do what I call Kentucky windage. It is not gap shooting. I do not know what my gaps are. All right, I'm just look at the target and I place my arm where I think it's going to go. I do not look at the end of the arrow. I see it, but it's not my point of focus. What Michael does is really cool. He knows his gaps, but he doesn't gap shoot. He does not look at the arrow. What he does, let's say he's at range X, the target's X number of yards away. He knows at that number, he needs to find a point 3 inches under where he wants his arrow to hit. And then he stares at it, just like you do an instinctive, and then he shoots. He's developed, that's a unique way, you know, for me, if I stare 4 inches under the target, my arrow goes 4 inches under the target. But he's able to stare at a point and have it go somewhere else, which I find is totally awesome. And he's not looking at the arrow. So he's doing like an instinctive gap. It's pretty cool. All right, enough of my babbling. This ain't a long video because we moved through this course really fast, but it was a lot of fun. So kick back and enjoy me and Michael shooting the Snake Meadow Club. I don't keep score, so I really don't know.
There you go. Because I can't shoot with glasses.
I know that one. You're a good snap shooter.
Yeah, I took my time on that.
Really?
No, I'm just when I shoot my primitive bow, which is I've been practicing a lot with lately, I just pull it up and shoot on the way. Like, yeah, that was actually fast. I mean, that was fast for me with this bow.
I am trying to teach myself to hold.
Well, holding's good. You know what helped me a lot when I started?
I understand, but
I'm just telling you what I do on a close target. The closer it is, the lower I start to shoot. Where if that thing was like at that rock, I would shoot 4 to 5 inches lower than the moss. I would shoot at the base of the rock to hit the moss.
Okay.
Because you got to think.
Right, the curve. Oh, I know.
Curve, right?
That's just something I have not learned.
Like when you shoot a compound bow up close, you should shoot your higher pin. Like you shouldn't shoot your 20 pin, you should shoot like a 50 pin or a 40 pin.
Okay.
When you're close. And that makes you bring your bow at a better angle.
See, I went low. That's my problem right there. And what that problem is when I...
Pop up another one if you want. That's forward. Oh no! Look what happened.
Oh! A back, there's nothing worse than. Dang it. There you go.
No, you know what I'm doing? I'm plucking, like, I
Yanking the hand away.
I went this way.
I do that. That's, see now look.
Yeah.
Damn righties.
Well, put your back foot on the post.
Actually, this is.
And you'll get in front of the tree?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's what I'm trying to do. But I also watch the camera. All right, let's see. This is about 20.
There you go.
That was
I
a
had a
good
little
shot.
bad run. This is not a target you want to miss on.
Yeah, that's why I decided to shoot from the left. Which I shouldn't, but.
Well, you'd be fine. There you go.
Real bad left-right problems.
And it wasn't a spine,
No,
the head thing.
it was me. It was also spine. I won't argue that. All right, I'll shoot one I don't panic about. Here's another one. Right next to a tree. All right, get my head squared.
Yeah, on this one you'd be better off shooting with your forward foot on the stake. Perfect. Then you gain 4 and 4, so you're even. Perfect shot.
Oh, I can just step back like this and shoot there.
Just move wherever you want. I'm not worried about it.
Well, I gotta get. And I'll do what you did.
Yeah, good to do some kneeling shots. Perfect.
Man, I went low because of it. That's
Yeah,
all right.
well, you start out. You need one in the hole, so I'm shooting a 239 right now. Oh, that's a 12 all day.
I hope so.
That
Actually,
is.
it felt good.
You got that one on video?
Oh yeah, I film every shot. Cause
One night, there's nothing good about it. Huh. And I want to try and get surgery and get it fixed up before I go.
yeah.
'Cause I ain't going like this.
Oh, guy slowed him down. It's all yours.
That's right. Put the wound on. No rush. Take your time.
There you go. I was thinking about center. I'm gonna even sort of.
He attempted to go lower on this one,
I'm gonna go center massish.
but I don't think lower is the way to go.
I think I know where it's at. But my problem is getting it there.
There you go.
Yep, I needed to be to the right though.
Yeah, but I'm sure you got an 8 at least.
I don't know, but I know.
Well, if you didn't, you deserve it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I'd like to go right of you and
Yes.
maybe an inch down.
I think I was level where I wanted to be, but I was over to the left. There you go. Gong. Whoa, way high. Way.
Nice.
I think I got a 5 though.
No, you got an 8 for sure.
I don't know.
100%.
There you go.
I mean, every time you miss, it's because you made an error. There you go. And if you miss,
I'm gonna aim dead center. Hey!
You know what? Shoot 2 deer a year.
Yep.
I shoot 2 a day.
Arr!
I get a lot. Would you miss?
No.
8?
Maybe.
Great head and see what we get. That's a 10.
See? I put it right, well, I'll keep it, but I put it right where I normally put it. I always had that problem. I get there, I'm like I know what to do.
Ah! I spined him. Worse than a routine.
I just pulled him.
Sorry, you're in there still, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. Nice. I think you got a 10.
I don't know.
I'm inspiring you to do well today.
Well, actually you are, because I was afraid that you're calling me. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I kneel down a lot when I'm hunting.
I would never think about shooting my head. But that gets you in line with that target. Oh, beautiful. That was that. When I first time I seen you do it, I go, you know, I never thought of doing that. See?
Yesterday I was thinking of going to the IBO shoot. See, if I was hunting that turkey, I would definitely be kneeling on the shot.
Oh yeah, I gotta understand why.
That doesn't look so good.
No, I'm plucking. Just like, remember I told you. Told you I start to do that.
Well, you started off the late. 126. Yeah, there's no way I'd shoot that turkey standing up.
Nice.
Tree stands before. I'm not saying I never use them, but the majority of my hunting is up.
Even lower, that's what I try to play with.
And I struggled many, many years.
So did I.
Oh, nice shot.
Thank you.
You gotta be loving that one. I'd take that one. I'll give you $10 for that.
Yeah. Damn. You don't want that shot.
All right, so an 8 brings me to 254 according to my calculations. A 10 would pump me up to 256, and a 12 would be 260.
Got it.
Which is reasonable. Look at this here. And I'm feeling pretty good right now. I have no pain. Okay, going in.
Not bad. You got at least a,
I
probably
got
an
an
8.
8 anyway, I'm sure.
That's what it looks like to me.
Come on, big finish.
Hi.
Not a good
Hi. All right, everybody, and there you have it. You know, it was a great time, and you see my score. I don't keep score, so I can't really say, you know, did better or worse, but the times I did keep score when I first started, I was always in the 180s. So 236 ain't bad. You know, I'm pretty happy with that score. Would it have been the same from the orange steak? Yeah, it would, because I actually did a bunch of those shots from the orange steak. All right, I let him shoot at the white, and I shot in the orange. I didn't do all of them, because there's certain ones I go, okay, I think I can hit it from here. So thanks for watching. There'll be a brand new video up next week, and you're going to enjoy this one. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week with an all-new episode of 3D Archery.